Listen, bitch. What are we doing?
Yeah. Just say listen, bitch.
Listen, bitch.
You go, I'm Micci, this is Xavier, this is Loud and Brown.
Tune the fuck in. That's what
Why
you
do you
say every
guys
time.
know that? Listen, bitch. I'm Micci, this is Xavier, and this is Loud and Brown. That's
Tune
it.
the fuck in.
Ah, shit. I don't. God damn it. Listen, bitch. I'm Micci, this is Xavier, this is Loud and Brown. Tune the fuck in.
On this episode of Loud and Brown, we're gonna talk about we're gonna have a little story time.
Story time.
Story time, because we heard that's a big thing on YouTube.
We actually spent the entirety of our road trip listening to Tana Mongoose story times plugged into the aux cord of my
You can't say
vehicle.
Tana Monk. Tana, we love you.
We love Tana.
And I love New York, which is actually what this video is about.
We hate New York. New York was terrible, and that's the way it is. New York is bad.
New York City.
The worst. You need to talk about why you were planning to love it, because that's what makes
yeah.
it heartbreaking and upsetting.
R.I.P. my hopes and dreams. Listen, it's funnier after Kenzie edits it.
It's a lot more on track after that.
Kenzie wanted us to have a script so that she would have to do less editing.
Ooh. We went to New York. Well, technically, we went to our road trip was to go to Connecticut to see our BFF Megan because she had gotten married and she moved to Connecticut to be a housewife.
Exactly, a Connecticut housewife, the dream.
Yeah.
So we were going to go visit Megan, and we were going to go to New York City because that's just considerably closer to Connecticut than it is to us in South Dakota. And
yeah, we lied to Megan. We were like, "This trip is for you," and we wanted to go to New York City.
Xavier wanted to go to New York City. I was like, the only thing that New York City holds for me is me seeing a show on Broadway. That's all. I'm not a city-dwelling woman. I love the Midwest. Like, I was expecting to be like fine with New York City, for it to be like an experience, but I wasn't planning to love it. But then when we pulled, like when we were driving...
We were driving on the New Jersey Turnpike, which is another story time video in itself. We were on a toll road, and we were driving into New York City to go basically through the Bronx and around it. And we saw the skyline, and we both just got...
We started yelling.
We were so excited.
We were so excited. We were like, this is New York City. Like
dreams are made of.
This is... Exactly. And we were just freaking out. We were so pumped.
Mm-hmm.
And I hadn't been planning on being excited, but Xavier...
Wet myself.
He wanted to live there.
Yeah, I wanted to move to New York City. I wanted to do that classic story where you just get up, you leave Michigan or Ohio or South Dakota or Kansas, whatever the place is, and you just travel and you just move to New York City. You buy a one-way train ticket to New York City, like burlesque, but the opposite way. And I wanted to go to New York City and just move there and live in a tiny shoebox apartment, and I would be fine and live the rest of my days living out the millennial dream. But everyone in my life has always been like, you gotta visit New York City, you gotta visit there to see if you like it. And so I was like, I guess, whatever, I'll visit it, I know I'm gonna love it, I'll just visit, whatever.
You know he's gonna love it. He owned this shirt.
I own this shirt.
Before we even went there, because he knew he was gonna love it.
I love this shirt.
Plot twist.
Plot twist, it sucked. We as Midwestern people, this whole story is just gonna be us complaining about how we're bigger than everybody in New York City. But we got onto this train, and there's like 3 people seats that we choose to sit on. And it's me, Micci, and Megan. All of us being just large people on the East Coast.
Sturdy Midwesterners. We love corn, we love to spread out.
Corn fed. We cannot fit into the 3-person seats.
That is just good for my thigh.
It was not good.
That's just what
So number one, it was already a bad idea to go because we couldn't even fit onto the train.
And then we get to Grand Central Station, and I'm like, we step out into Grand Central Station. I'm so excited because I'm like, this looks just like it did in Madagascar. And I was just so pumped. I love Madagascar.
My favorite historical drama.
Exactly. And I was seeing over across the entirety of Grand Central Station, and Xavier tapped me on the shoulder, and he was like, Micci, look, like it's beautiful. And I was like, yeah, this is awesome. And he was like, shit, Micci, the reason we can see everything,
And why it's so beautiful and why we can just see the whole landscape.
is because we are giants.
We're literally
Everyone
looking
there was so tiny.
We're looking over the heads of just every single person.
And so we step into New York City, and the first thing we learn is that we're monsters.
Imagine this, if you will. We walk out of Grand Central Station. Megan and I immediately go into our Midwestern mall walk where we're just going places. We're busy. We know those old ladies in malls? That was me and Megan. We were going places. We knew where we were going.
Listen to me. My legs, tiny, okay? My sister is 5 inches inches shorter than me, and we have the same length legs, okay? All of my height comes from my torso. I was not created for speed walking in the streets of New York City like I have someplace to be. I just was not.
You did have someplace to be. We had to take you to Broadway.
I did have somewhere to be, but my little tiny legs were going as fast as they could carry me, and Xavier and Megan were
just blocks ahead of her.
They were blocks ahead of me,
ahead.
and I was just so far behind, all by myself, getting lost in the streets. And they stopped.
Wearing literally just denim underwear is what Micci wears on a daily basis.
It was a look.
To Broadway.
I love fashion. But they stop and I catch up to them, and Megan like starts like pulling on my arm, and she's like, "Let's go! Like you have places to be. Let's go."
Megan is literally being a bitch like this whole time. She's like being so mean to Micci, and she's like, "Micci, I gotta get you there."
My legs are so tiny. So I started crying. I'm about to cry right now. I started crying on the street corner of New York City.
We do this for content. Why are you crying?
I just hate it here.
Why?
It's terrible.
We just got here.
I know.
What's so bad about it?
Just everything.
And I was trying to be a comforting friend.
You laughed at me. You laughed?
I know, but I laugh in situations where I'm supposed to be serious.
Called my mom.
You did call your mom, and you know what I told you not to do? Call your mom.
I was just crying. But eventually they got me to the August Wilson Theater, and I got to see Groundhog Day, which was just an experience in and of itself. Freaking M&M's cost $5, a water bottle cost $5.
Also, notice how I am not a good friend, because after Micci bawled her eyes out in the streets of New York, we dropped her off at this theater and we were like, bye!
No, they dropped me off, like we were across the street.
Yeah.
I could see the August Wilson Theater. I still have to walk just another block by myself.
A whole city block. Also, city blocks long.
And also, they left me alone. No one wanted to go to Broadway with me.
I don't have Broadway money.
I have exclusively Broadway money. I don't need to eat. I'm in New York City. All I wanted to do was see a show, and I did, alone.
And then after Megan and I dropped Micci off, Megan took me to this like sushi restaurant that she swore by. She was like, it's the best sushi in New York City. She's been in New York City 3 times. And so she's only been living in Connecticut for 2 months. And Megan was like, but I haven't been to Stonewall. For the viewers out there, Stonewall is a gay bar for the gays. It's just an iconic gay bar. And so Megan, being the bisexual queen she is, decided we should go to Stonewall, which is in Greenwich Village, I think. So we took the subway, and it wasn't like fun. It was really gross and disgusting, and there was from what I remember sitting down the first time, and I never sat down after that. I sat down the first time we got into the subway, and immediately some white guy came up to me and literally just stood in front of me with his balls in my face, and he was eating a hot ass sandwich that you could smell. The aroma was filling the entire cab, and you could smell it. And he was like, every time he would take a bite, he would put it down by his crotch, which was in turn near my face. And then we went to Stonewall. I stood there for like 5 minutes at the bar waiting for somebody to come fix me a drink. And then the bartender came over, just some old white guy, a really old white guy. And he was like, what do you want to drink? And I told him, I don't even remember what I told him I wanted to drink, but it was something. I totally remember. It was a vodka Red Bull. And he was like, no. I was like, excuse me? And he was like, I don't feel like making that. And I'm like, it's literally vodka and Red Bull. It's just not hard to make at all. And he was just like, I don't feel like it. And then walked away. And I'm not a New Yorker, but I assume you get paid at the bartender and you work for tips. This man was not worried about his tips. He literally just left me. He was like, no, I don't want to make it. And then I finally got a drink. I finally got a drink from this lady that was there, I don't know. And she gave me my drink. It was $11.50 for a drink that was this big.
I need to interject that since Xavier turned 21, he has been consistently going downtown in our little South Dakota town and getting drunk for free. Because he looks like this, and in Vermilion, that works for him. In New York City,
it works for me.
It wasn't working for him.
No, that was just it. That was another thing. Like, not only was I not getting the attention from the bartender. I was not getting any attention from anybody. And nobody was looking, well, people were looking at me, but not for the reason that I wanted them to be looking at me.
Because you're a giant.
Because I was huge. They were literally like, who is this fucking Sasquatch of a man? Who let Squanto into my bar? Is what they were saying. They were like, Squanto, get out of my city.
This is the
I was spiraling.
He does not like New York City.
I was spiraling.
No one was flirting with him.
Listen.
Grindr, what was going on there? No one was hitting him up.
On Grindr, I literally... we'll get to Grindr in New York City. We will get there. But no, yeah, so the bar sucked. It was terrible. Also, guys, never go to Stonewall. Not worth it. It's gross. It's sweaty. Drag queens have terrible makeup. It's just a bad place to be.